Hey YouTube, Awesome Writer here. This is going to be my video for National Power Rangers Day. Today is the day that Day of the Dumpster premiered all those years ago. Originally, for this day, I was actually going to do a revisit review of Day of the Dumpster, kind of like I do those revisit reviews of the team-ups. And I still want to do that video. If you guys are interested in seeing it, I might try to get it done before the end of Power Month or this week. But unfortunately, some stuff came up, and I don't have time to work on something like that today. But I wanted to get something out. But let me know if you're interested in maybe me doing that video. But for this, I kind of wanted to do a pseudo-sequel to a video of a similar type that I did on a previous Power Rangers Day, just kind of talking about the future of the franchise, what's on the horizon, what I'm looking forward to. Because I think there's a lot of reason to be hopeful, and I feel like especially recently a lot of people have been doom and gloom about it, but I think there's a lot to look forward to. I mean, first and foremost, Hasbro has already said quite some time ago that they're currently working on their new universe, the new movie, new shows, possibly multiple shows, and I think that's reason to be excited. And I feel like a lot of people don't seem to be that excited because I feel most people seem to fall into two camps. One is they just kind of forget that they said that, I guess, and think because things are a little bit slower that Hasbro wants to kill the brand. I don't think that they would buy a franchise for millions of dollars just to run it into the ground within the first 5 years. That just wouldn't make any sense. So I feel like people forget about that. And then there's people that seem a little closed-minded that are afraid of the new universe because they want things to be done a certain way. But I think there's reason to be excited. I mean, I know things have been kind of slow right now, guys, but I think they actually play this really smart, especially compared to when Saban bought the brand back and they kind of rushed it out, and as a result, Samurai wasn't the best when we started off, you know, because they kind of directly translated Shinkenger and also just did MMPR 1993 stuff, and it resulted in a rushed, clunky product. And I think Hasbro really played it smart, where, fortunately, when they bought it, they basically already had the framework in place for the show, you know, for Dino Fury and stuff, so they can keep the show out there, keep the brand out there with the merchandise in the show, while they take their time and work on something in the background. And that excites me. I like the idea of bringing some fresh air into the franchise. I feel things have been really stale. I like the idea of breaking a lot of our norms and expanding the potential of the universe, and I love that they're actually taking their time. And even though it's all been quiet on the front, I think that's okay. I think they need to take their time, and I feel it would be a different story if everything was dormant, but I think they're doing a good job of, even if some things feel like they're on autopilot, of keeping it sort of out there in the world and in circulation while they work on their franchise. And I'm really excited by the possibility of a new universe. You know, I know a lot of people are worried about throwing out years of canon, but the thing is that when you're dealing with a multiverse, they're all canon. So, but I like the idea of having a bit of a fresh start. You know, the rumor has that the movie might involve some past stuff, but I like the idea of the new shows and stuff maybe bringing like literally a new universe and a fresh start and getting new fans and new takes. And again, I think animated would be great, at least for one of them. I wouldn't mind if it was the only one, but at least for one of them. And then bring in new fans, and then down the road, you can start doing some multiverse stuff. That's probably one of my hopes for the new universe, is that we table crossovers for a while in regards to the show and the movies and stuff, but that would be cool. Almost something like what Spider-Man's doing. You know, they started their new Spider-Man, and now we might be getting a live-action Spider-Verse. So something like that would be awesome to start this new world, bring in new fans, get everyone used to the new world, and then you can start exploring the multiverse. But I think that's the thing I'm most excited about. Even though there's things I'm enjoying right now, I'm really excited by the prospect, and I think the future looks bright for that. I think people think that Hasbro doesn't care, but I think they do care. They're just playing it smart, and they just kind of have a general product out there while they have something going on in the background. But as for the product we do have, I mean, I'm personally enjoying Dino Fury. Who knows, that could change. It still has its problems. It still has inherited some of that Neo Saban framework. But I've been enjoying it, and it's shown some improvements, and I think it's a decently enjoyable show at the very least to have out there to enjoy while we wait for the new universe. And again, I'm glad that we have something to enjoy while we're waiting, instead of it just being completely dormant. You know, with the toys, that would probably be my only real hang-up that I would consider as significant criticisms of all the things going on right now, would be the Dino Fury toy line, but I think that's a bit of a result of probably how the Beast Morphers stuff did, and the fact that we're a little bit on autopilot, but that's really the only thing. Like, I don't have a lack of criticisms across the board, but I think that's my only significant criticism, because I think Dino Fury is solid. I like that we're moving to Netflix more. And then, of course, you have the comics, which has been my favorite thing for a long time. I think it's a shame that so many people sleep on them, because they're really fantastic. And for me, it's just been great to see someone take advantage of this crazy universe, because there's something special about the interconnected Power Rangers world and multiverse that's very unique, that for me is why I like that universe better than Sentai's. And for years, even before Neo Saban, I wanted someone to take full advantage of this crazy universe we've built. Because as crazy and weird and messy as it is, we really built something special, I thought. And the comics, for me, is this group of people finally taking full advantage of that. And it's been really great. And I know some people deem it as like fan fiction and stuff, but for me, the stuff they do doesn't feel like fan fiction. It just feels like what happens when you're free of the dogmatic, narrow view of the Sentai. And I really enjoy it. And I find it funny that the fandom's attitude to the comics is like the inverse of most other fandoms, because like, or at least the purist ones, where you'll have people be like, I can't believe they did that in the Iron Man movie. They didn't do that in the comics. You have to do the same exact story every time. But then for us, it's like the opposite, where people think the comics are the lesser to the TV show. And I've always found that funny. But I definitely encourage you to check it out. I know it can seem like it's only MMPR, and they do keep a core focus on that for the marketing because they have to sell it to more than the hardcore fans. But they are doing a lot of expansion and expanding into other seasons, and that's something I really hope continues as we head into the new universe. You know, that's the one thing I would love to hold on to, is this as a way of holding on to that old universe and enriching it while they build their new universes. I just think it's really been great, and I've always loved the comics, and I feel like they just keep getting better in terms of what we've been getting, branching off into the Omegas, and we've been getting more miniseries, and it seems like there's even more on the horizon. And then, of course, you have the Lightning Collection, which I think has been really good so far. You know, we're still in the early days. I feel there's a lot of fans that are too harsh and entitled about it, and it's not above criticism, but I think they're really trying, and they're constantly seem to be listening and improving. And as I've said in the past, I know it can seem a little MMPR leaning, which it is, but that's by design. If they only marketed towards the hardcore fans that are on Twitter and on a Ranger board, they would be bankrupt tomorrow, because they have to sell to more than just the core fandom. And I think they do a pretty good balance. You know, they have the leaning MMPR stuff so they can cast a wider net, but then we get really niche stuff like some of the comic stuff, or A-Squad, which I never would have expected us to get this early on. I've mentioned that multiple times. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but I think that that's been a really strong presence. I think it's only just building. I'm definitely, you know, on the lookout for us hopefully getting maybe more Morphers or Weapons and Megazords at some point, but I think that's forthcoming. I think they're testing the waters. But from the impression I get, they're always working on it, they're always improving, and I think there's just going to be more to be excited about. And that's why I can't understand why people say that Hasbro's trying to kill it, because I think that they're always putting more effort into it, and it seems like the Lightning Collection has amassed a pretty decent following, especially so early on, so I think that's a good reason to be hopeful about it. I mean, I think overall, things may seem a little bit quiet right now. I would say the only thing that feels like it has momentum is a little bit the comics and then the Lightning Collection. But I think in general, this is the calm before the storm, like a good storm. I think that we're in for a lot of really exciting things and new fans and new takes with the new universe. And so I just want to encourage people to be patient and enjoy what we have right now. You know, I think there's some solid stuff, as I said at the top of the video. I think that they're playing it smart, where they're keeping all this out there and they're giving us stuff to enjoy while they're working on the bigger things. And I think the future honestly looks bright for Power Rangers. I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to be familiar to look for and a lot that's new to look for. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry, it's just kind of a rambly video. I didn't have time to do a lot of editing and pictures and stuff. It's just kind of me talking. Like I said, let me know if you're interested in maybe doing that Day of the Dumpster video. But happy Power Rangers Day, everyone. Celebrate the way you want, either with family or private. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for more of my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.